Hello everyone, so today we'll be talking about expressions and operators in JavaScript. So we have already used this in our previous video a lot of times actually, because if you go to assignment operators right here, we can see that assignment operator is just this equal, and we've already used a few times to declare variables like this. We've done this. Let's say let num equal to 2. So right here, if we use the equal sign, that's the assignment operator, and we've already used it. So that's how we define a variable. We know that, and we've already used the assignment operator. So let's move on to the next one, which is the addition assignment. So we have already used this in our previous video. So we have a num2. Let's go ahead and use num plus equal to 3, and let's log num, and then let's use the browser. I like to use the browser. We can use this in our terminal here as well, but let's go ahead and use the browser because I want you guys to be comfortable in the browser as well. So let's comment these out. We'll get back to this variable part later on. So for now, let's just understand what just happened here. So we have a variable of num here. If we log num in between, we should get 2 here. So let's see, we get 2 here, but when we have this plus equal to 3, we get num as 5. So let's see what this does. So this addition assignment essentially just performs additions which would otherwise be this x equal to x plus f, or in our case we should be doing it like this: num equal to num plus 3. So this and this are exact same thing, this one and this one. Let's see the results. We get 2 and 5, and if we uncomment this, we still get 2 and 5. If we reload, we still get 2 and 5, because they are doing exact same thing. So they are doing num equal to num plus 3, but they are using the shorthand, as you can see right here in MDN. They're saying shorthand operator. So shorthand is this: plus equal to, or we could do x equal to x plus the number or whatever. Same goes for -1. Let's do a -1. Let's do this to be 5, and let's do -1 and not 3, and let's do minus. Let's comment the shorthand first, and let's see the variables. So we get 5 for this log, and then we subtract 1, and then we log, and we get 4. But if we comment this line out and put this line in, we still get the same thing, because it is doing exact same thing, just like addition. And same goes for multiplication and division as well. So I'm not be showing you guys that. It's essentially the same thing, as you can see right here. The meaning equal to x into x divided by f, or whatever. We have reminder assignment, but we'll be talking about that in our later section of this video. And the other ones are not that common, not that used, so let's escape these for now. Let's just understand the assignment operators. So we've already understood assignment operators previously. We've already assigned object like this. So just this equal is the assignment operator, and we can use this to put variables inside, values inside variables like this, or create an object like this, or create an array like this. We've already done this. So let's move to the next part, comparison operators. So comparison operators is used to compare things. So let's see an example right here. Let's comment these out, and let's go for log, and we do 2 double equal to 2, and we should get true. But let's read this first. So what it does, it compares and then returns true if the operands are equal. So it just checks if they are equal and then returns true or false based on that. So 2 is equal to 2 actually, so it returns true. But if we do 2 is equal 3, we get false, because 2 is not equal to 3. 2 is equal to only 2. Okay, so and then we have not equal, so we just add an exclamation in front of that equal, and we have this 2 is not equal to 2. We are saying here 2 is not equal to 2, and this will return to be false because 2 is actually equal to 2. And if we do this, we get true. But if we do this and then get false and then change the value to 2 is not equal to 4, and we get true because 2 is not equal to 4, 2 is equal to 2 only. So yeah, let's see the next one, strict equal. So what we've been using, the double equal sign, this just checks the value and not the type. But if we do number 2 equal to string 2, we will get true because it is not checking the type. Let's do triple equal and we get false because this time we are checking the type as well. So number 2 is not equal to string 2, they're quite different, and we can see we get false if we use the strict equal or the triple equal. But if we do number 2 triple equal to 2, we get true because it is true. And if we do string 2 triple equal to string 2, we get true because they're the same type. We have string 2 here and string 2 here, and then we're comparing if they're true. If they have any match, we get true. We have strict not equal as well, and the same thing goes for here. It checks the type and then decide if it is true or not. So string 2 is not equal to number 2, we are saying this here, and we are getting true. If we do 4 here, we get true as well because 4 is not equal to string 2. But if we do string 2 is not equal to string 2, we get false because it is true. We are getting the same thing. If we do triple equal instead, we get true. Okay, so then we have greater than or equal. So let's go for 3 is greater than 2. We'll get true because 3 is indeed greater than 2. So we're just checking whether this number is bigger than this one. So 3 is bigger than 2, so we are getting true. But if we do 3 is greater than 4, we get false because it is not true. We can do greater than or equal as well. Let's do this. So in that case, we're checking if it is greater than or equal. We're checking both the conditions. If we do 3 is greater than or equal to 3, we get true. But if we do 3 and only greater than 3, we'll get false because 3 is not greater than 3, 3 is equal to 3. Or we can use greater than or equal as well. So it can only be greater or equal, it cannot be less, or it will be false. As we can see, it is not greater than 3, 4 is less than 3, I mean more than 3, sorry, greater than 3. Okay, so we have less than as well, it's the opposite. So if we do this, we'll get true because 3 is indeed less than 4. But if we do 4 is less than or equal to 4, we get true because it is equal to 4. But if we do only less than 4, we'll get false because 4 is not less than 4, 4 is equal to 4. Okay, so then we have the arithmetic operators we already used, like addition, we can get 8, or we can go subtract and we get 0, and we do multiplication and we get 16, or we divide and get 1. So yeah, these are the arithmetic operators. And with that we have remainder, increment, decrement as well. So let's see what a remainder does. So remainder is just returns you a remainder of these two numbers we have provided here. So we get 4, we get 0. 4 divided 4 is equal to 1, so we do not have any remainder left. But if we do 5 modulo 4, we get 1 in return because we have 1 remainder left. So let's do 6 here, and we get 2 left because we have divided it by 4 and then we have 2 left. Okay, so let's divide it and show you guys. So we have 1.5 and 0.5 is left, which is equivalent to 2 actually. Okay, so we have the remainder, and then we have the increment. So I was actually using it above. Let's go ahead and use that. So we have a variable of 13, and then we can use this increment in a few way. Let's see. Let's go for log variable, and we get 13 because the variable value is 13 here. And if we do plus plus and then variable, we get 14 because plus plus before the variable means increment first and then print the value. So we have 14, but if we comment this one out and show this one, we get 13 because what it's saying now is print this one first. So log this first and then increment it. So we have actually incremented it, but after we have printed the value. So let's see the variable value in our next line, and we get 14 because in this line the 13 has increased by 1, but we have not seen it because we have told the JavaScript to first show the variable and then increment it. So we are getting 13 and then we are incrementing it, and the value has become 14. So in the next line when we log that, we get 14. Okay, so decrement works in same way. Let's see that. Let's log these two out. So if we do decrement variable, we get 12 because we are decrementing it first and then printing it out. But if we do this, we'll still get 13, and then when we log in the next line, we get 12. Okay, so we have unary negation, so it just makes a value value to negative value. So let's do that. Let's go for log and then do variable minus variable, so it will be minus 13 now. It is now minus 13, but the plus operator is also converts it to a number. So if we were to do, let's say, log and plus variable, we'd still get 13. But if we have a string 13 right here and we do plus variable, it will now be a number. It is already turned into a number, as you can see. It's blue here, so blue here means it's a number, but we can also do log and then type of variable, and we'd get num. Okay, why is it string? Oh, because we haven't actually done it here, but we have only used it to log this out. But let's do this, and we still get this. Okay, let's do variable equal to plus variable, and yeah, okay, so we are redeclaring the variable. So this is a string 13, and then we are saying okay, the variable will be plus variable, which means it will just convert it to a number. So now we are getting type of to number. We can use type of to see the type of any values, as you know, or as you can see. So plus variable, it is turning the string 13 to a number. And we also have exponential operators. So it is used to do exponential. Okay, first I want to yeah, it multiplies to the power of the second operand. Okay, so we get, let's do this. Let's go for let variable equal to 2, and let's go for log 2 into 2, so we get 4. It is being squared here, but if we do 3, we'd get 8. So it is being cubed here, so we are exponentially increasing it. So it is essentially equal to math.power returns the value of a base raised to a power. So it is raising to a power. It is a bit advanced for now. Let's skip this and let's go to the next one. Bitwise operator. Okay, this is not needed for now as well. Let's move on to the next part. So okay, we have logical and logical or logical not. So we have already used the logical not here to compare things, but it is essentially saying not or and or. Let's see, let 3 let's create a variable of 3 and let 4. Okay, so now we can do, okay, let's not use numbers here, let's use boolean. Let's say 3 will be true and 4 will be false. Okay, so let's log 3 and 4. Okay, so let's see what we get. We get false. So and operators need both of these to be true, otherwise it will be false. Let's read what they have to say. Returns x per 1 if it can be converted to false, otherwise returns x per 2. Thus when used with boolean values and returns true if both operands are true, otherwise return false. As you can see, we have to have both of them true to return a true, otherwise it will be a false. Let's turn this one to be true as well, and let's log 3 and 4 and we get true. So both of these need to be true in order for it to be true, otherwise it will be false. Okay, so logical or doesn't need that. Logical or just needs one of them to be true to return true. As you can see, we are doing 3 or 4, so we are saying true or false and it is returning us false. True. True, it is returning us true. So let's do it other way around. Let's do true at first and then false at first and then true. It will still return true because only one of these needs to be true in order for it to return true, otherwise it will just so if both of them are false, let's see this, false and false, now we get false because none of these are true. So it is just saying or. So true or true, true or false, or false or false, true or false, like this. So if we have only one true here, we'd still get true. Doesn't matter where it is, we can put the true front or behind. Let's not use variable, it is a bit confusing, I think. So let's just do true or false. So we get true because one of these has true value. So let's go for false and we still get true, but in terms of and, we must have both of them true, otherwise it will be false. So if we do false and false, we'd still get false. If we do true and false, we'd still get false. But if we do true and true, we get true. Okay, so logical not returns false if it's a single operand that can be converted to true, otherwise returns true. Okay, so it essentially changes a boolean value. Let's do this, not true, and we'd get false. And we can do not false and get true after that, not false. Okay, so we get true. So it is actually changing the value. So we are just doing like this, let's say false, and we are changing it. We are saying okay, not false. So this one is saying not false, so not false is true, not true, and now we get false. So we can change other strings as boolean this way as well. Let's say this, we get false, but if we do this, we'd get true. It is a bit advanced for now, but let's just understand that if it's a empty string, we'd get false. So technically it's showing us empty string, but if we do boolean, we can check a boolean value of empty string like this as well, so we'd get false. But if we do this, now we'd get true, but if we do this again, we'd get false once again. Okay, so boolean is another built-in function to check true or false for anything. Let's say this string will return true because it has some characters, but if we have no characters like 0, so we get false. Okay, so let's move on to the next part. What do we have? Big int operators, don't need this for now. String operators, okay, we can add string as well, so let's go for their example. Okay, so we have, let's log my string here, and we get alphabet. Let's log this first, so we can do alpha, only alpha, and then we can add equal to, just like previous one. We can get alphabet here by saving it, we get alphabet here. We can do it like this as well, let's say bet, and we'd still get alphabet. Or we can do it like this, my string equal to my string plus bet. Let's remove this one, and we'd still get alphabet like this. So essentially we're doing the same thing right here. We are doing the addition operator from above. So then we have conditional ternary operator. So ternary is a shorthand to do if else. So we also have if else operator. Let's see. So we have if, then true, and then log hello. So we will get logged hello, but if we have false, we will not be able to read this code, because as you can see it says unreachable code detected. Because it is false, it will never reach this line of code. So we can use if else like this. Let's let 3 equal to 3, let 4 equal to 4, and now we pass the condition here, 4 is greater than 3. If 4 is greater than 3, which will give us back true, so now we can log this code. But if we do like this, we'd get this false from this. As we've seen previously, these comparison operators returns true or false. So if we do 6 is 7 or 8 is greater than 6, so we are getting true here. Only if we get true value, only then we can run this part of the code. Otherwise we also have a else block. Let's do else by. Okay, so this time we must know that if else only will run one of these, either this one or this line of code, either this line or this line of code. So if it is true, it will run this code and ignore this one. If it is false, it will ignore this part and run the code in the else block instead. So let's pass false here. Let's do 2. So 2 is not greater than 6, it will result in false, and it will run to this code, else code, and we get by here, as you can see. So I hope you guys understood this. It is I don't know if it's advanced for you guys, but it seemed like a good time to learn if else condition. And we also want the ternary operator. We want to learn the ternary operator. So we should learn if else first, and then we use the ternary operator. Ternary operator is essentially just a shorthand of this if else. So we did 2 greater than 6, put a condition here, if condition, so it will either return true or false. So if it returns true, it will run this part of the code. This is a code block. We use second bracket to use a code block. So this is a code block of if it is true, it will run this block of code. If it is false, it will run this block of code. So let's write this in ternary. So let's do 2 is greater than 6 and then use a question mark and then say log hello, and then we do a colon and then we say log of pi. So it's doing the exactly the same thing here. Both of these code, like this code and this code, they're doing exact same thing. So as you can see, we get by printed out 2 times because this condition, both of them are false. So if work like this, if it is true, this block of code is executed. It works the same way internally. If it is true, the first block of code is executed. Otherwise, the second block of code is executed the same way as the else. I hope you guys understood this, but if you didn't, I will be talking about this in later stages as well. So as you can see, they have example right here, and let's run this. MDN examples are great actually. So let's say const status equal to greater or equal to age 18. So let's go for status only log. Okay, age is not defined. We have not took the age from here. Where's the age anyway? Okay, let's define the age here. Let's say age will be 20. Okay, so what we're saying here is put this value in the status constant. Age, if we're checking the if else once again. So if age is greater than or equal to 20, put out adult as a result, or otherwise put minor. So we're saying age is 20, so we should get adult as a result, and we get adult as a result because this part is this condition is true. So if it is true, we will run the first block of code. If it is false, we'll run the second block of code. Let's do age 4. So age is not greater than or equal to 18 now. It is less than or equal to 18. So we should get minor now because it is now false. And as you can see, we get minor. Okay, great example. Only they didn't define the age first. Comma operator. Okay, we've already used comma to separate out arrays, or we have also used things like objects. In object we have used comma. So we have unary operators. Okay, and let's not go for these. We've already used type of operators to see values of things. We can see if it is a number, object, or string, or whatever. Okay, so let's see what do we have here. Relational, no, we don't want to talk about these for now. Basic expressions. Okay, this. Okay, let's not talk about this now at all. We'll be talking about this a bit later on because this is a bit advanced topic, I would say, and it is a bit harder to understand. New. Okay, we will talk about new as well in our next videos. Okay, so that's about it as our assignment and expressions and operators, my bad. So I hope you guys understood this. I don't know if the if else code was a bit tough for you guys, but essentially it's doing a pretty simple thing. It is just checking a condition just like before. So if it is true, this part of the code will be executed. So we need to pass a value as true here. So let's say we do 4 is greater than 3, and as we saw earlier that this will result in true or false. So we can just pass true here instead, or we can do 4 is greater than 3 as well. So we can do 4 is greater than 3, so it is now passing out true here, and as it is getting true, it will just log this line, this block of code essentially, and ignore this part. So let's see, we get hello. But if we pass a false here, let's say 4 is greater than 5, which is not true, it is false. So we now get bye instead, because this is not true and this part of the code is not executed, but instead else part is executed. We can also do else if. I forgot to mention that we can define another if condition like this. Else if let's do 6 is greater than 4, and let's do log middle to understand this. Okay, so middle is printed out because 4 is not greater than 5, so this part is clearly ignored. And then we get 6 is greater than 5, so this part is executed instantly, so we get middle. And then this part is also false because 6 is already greater than 5. There is no else condition here. Okay, so I really hope you guys understood if else properly. And then ternary is not required for now. Try to understand if else properly. And ternary is just a shorthand, as you guys saw earlier, that we define the condition right here instead of a if block here, and then do true of the conditions here like this. Okay, so I really hope you guys understood this, and if you didn't, you can comment down below, let me know. If you have any feedback for me, I'd be happy to address them and improve myself in the process. Thank you very much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Keep practicing these, and I will link the MDN doc of these expressions and operators as well to practice for you guys. Okay, thank you very much. I will see you guys in the next one.